We sit in a comfortable meditation posture and close the eyes. Allow the awareness to go deep within the mind and seek out the silence that is always there. Connect with that deep inner silence. Become the silence. You are the silent witness. From the level of the silent witness, let's listen to the words of the Yoga Vashishta. We're continuing with Book 5, Chapter 12. On verse 7. He became acquainted with the soul that is inherent in all bodies. This is the silent witness. He saw all things, abiding in the omnipotence of consciousness and identical with the infinite. He was never too joyful or exceedingly sad, but preserved his equanimity amidst the conflicts of his soul and sensible objects. And what this means is these conflicts of the soul and sensible objects. Sensible objects are things that we perceive with our senses. We perceive many things outside of the body with the senses, but we also perceive many things within the mind with our senses. Everything that we perceive outside of the body and within the mind is illusion. It is not real. It is not eternal. It is not stable. It's constantly changing. And it is in direct conflict with that which we have deep in the mind, the silence. The silence is often disturbed by sensory objects. It's not that the silence is disturbed, but our connection with the silence is disturbed. This is common as we are on the path to achieving moksha level 4, Brahman consciousness. We must go through various stages. In each stage, each level of moksha, we connect with a deeper or more profound level of the silent witness. And as we are connecting with deeper, more profound levels of the silent witness, some interesting things take place. Initially, we connect with the silent witness, that is, touching the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is found in the pranamaya kosha. And when we touch the senses of the subconscious mind, we find they are operating in that realm of the astral realm. This is the realm of the emotional body. This is where our emotions are concentrated. But the senses that we're using when we connect with the silent witness on the level of the subconscious mind are not the pratibha senses. Pratibha means that which is beyond where we are established. So there are senses that are beyond the pranamaya kosha senses. There are senses actually that are beyond this universe. We exist beyond this universe. We may stop at the pranamaya kosha connection with the silent witness for some time. Until we have developed a clear sense of witnessing the conscious thinking mind and the physical activities of the body. And in order to develop that clarity, we have to balance karmic traces that are in the way. This whole process is extremely natural, perfectly natural and spontaneous, but it is blocked by our individual karmic traces. Connecting with the silent witness is the number one perfect antidote for all karmic traces. So once we reach that ability to connect with the silent witness, we have gotten off of the slow ride to the jet or rocket ship ride to moksha level 4. It changes everything. And soon this activity of connecting with the silent witness on the level of the subconscious mind transforms enough karmic traces to allow us to transcend even deeper. We can go deeper into the manomaya kosha mind, which is also called the unconscious mind. There, the silent witness is extraordinarily broad, but yet not infinite. It appears that way as we first transition to the manomaya kosha. But as we become familiar with that silent witness on that level, we realize there's still a little more we can transcend. And we continue this transcending process, going deeper and deeper into the silent witness until we have transcended this universe entirely. And we are connected with Paramajyoti. Paramajyoti is Krishna's effulgence, Krishna's consciousness that exists throughout this universe and beyond. The silent witness on that level of Paramajyoti propels us into moksha level 4 Brahman consciousness. And this is our objective. We will get to moksha level 5 as well. But the transition from moksha level 4 to level 5 is a different process than the transition we have been taking up to this point. But each time we're established in the silent witness, we're aware of our karmic traces. And the main quality of karmic traces is that of conflict, that of resistance. Taking one out of the silent witness is the objective of the karmic traces. Returning to the world of illusion is the objective of the karmic traces. But like in the movie The Matrix, once we have taken that red pill, once we have touched the silent witness, we're forever changed. We know this is where we must go. And we know that all is illusion. Out there beyond the silent witness in the universe. Since that time, the Venerable Janaka became liberated in his living state and is renowned as a veteran sage among mankind. Janaka has become established in the silent witness as the silent witness. He continues to rule the land of the Videha people without being subject to feelings of joy or sorrow for even a moment. The word Videha means beyond the illusion of the world. Knowing the causes of good and evil, he is neither elated nor dejected at any favorable or unfavorable circumstance of his life. Nor does he feel glad or sad at any good or bad accident relating to the state. We could relate this to perhaps our relationship with our automobile. When something good happens to our automobile, perhaps it goes through the car wash and comes out sparkly clean. There's a momentary feeling of happiness for the automobile. It feels like it runs better when it's clean. But we do not become elated over this. This is not the most amazing thing. It's just a slight feeling of happiness to have a clean car. Our automobile gets a flat tire. There's a sense of dejection. It's not really dejection, it's just disappointment that the tire is flat and now we must do things to correct it. This is how we feel when we are established in the silent witness and things occur in physical human life. There's nothing that can happen in physical human life to make us feel elated or dejected. We could win the lottery and $100 million, or the body could end. The body could die. Neither of these happenings are going to make us feel elated or dejected, because we have very little connection with what's going on in the illusion. We notice it, but that's about all. He completes his duties without setting his mind to them. His mind is wholly employed in his intellectual speculation. Now, what does that mean? I thought when we reached moksha, the mind went away. Well, it does eventually, but not until moksha level 4. Then moksha level 1, the mind is still there, but it's different. It's different in that it is no longer the ruler of the life. Until we reach moksha level 4, the mind continues to operate because the mind is generated by the activities of the karmic traces. And the karmic traces remain until moksha level 4. And so what is the mind engaged in? Initially, when we reach moksha level 1, the mind marvels at this separation between who I am and everything else, the body, the environment, the universe. It's a new experience. I am not the body. It's a clear experience. I am not the body. But there are still karmic traces. So the mind is noticing these karmic traces, is presenting them to awareness. And we use our intellect to distinguish between karmic traces and silent witness. Like driving a car. We use our mind to observe the road, and we keep the car on the path, on the road. It's much more pleasant to drive the car on the road than to let it just wander off into the fields and smash into things and run over fences. The same thing when we reach moksha level 1. It's a bit like driving a car down the road. It doesn't take all of our attention, but it takes a little bit of focus to keep the car on the road. You have to regulate the speed of the automobile. And so on. Be observant of things that might be in the road. And so we are engaged in maintaining the connection with the silent witness through intellectual speculations. That means comparisons between this is silent witness, this is who I am, becoming more and more familiar with that. It's a new experience for me, but I need this reinforcement that yes, I am the silent witness. I am not the illusion. I am not the body. I am not the mind. My sense of I has changed. My sense of I used to be associated with an inventory of accomplishments. I have attended this university. I have this degree. I know these skills. I perform this job, I act in this role. That all changes. There's still the memory. The one in the body did attend a university and does act in a certain function. But I am the silent witness. I do nothing. I am pure, unbounded awareness. The body does its thing, and I notice what it's doing. The sense of I changes. And it changes through discrimination. And the key lesson of the Yoga Vashishta is the importance of refining intellectual discrimination. Because as we go deeper into the silent witness, the difference between the illusion and the silent witness becomes increasingly small. At some point, we can no longer detect any difference between the illusion and the silent witness. All is the silent witness. The illusion has lost all substance. And then we transcend at one more time. And we are in Brahman consciousness. Remaining thus in his trance state of sound sleep, abstraction, samadhi, established in the silent witness, that's what that means. His thoughts are quite withdrawn from all objects about him. He is mindful of the past and heedless about the future, unmindful of the past. We're established in the present moment, in the now. He enjoys only the present moment with a happy heart and a cheerful mind. What makes us unhappy and uncheerful? Worries about what's going to happen in the future. If this doesn't happen, oh, then this might happen, and then that would be terrible. And oh, and if that happens, it'll be horrible. And then this might happen. The mind is constantly wanting to engage in that speculation. Destroys the joy of the moment. Janaka obtained the obtainable and what is worthy to be obtained by his own reasoned analysis, and not, O lotus-eyed Ram, by any other desire. We can't desire ourselves to Brahman consciousness. We achieve Brahman consciousness in measured steps of progress, of intellectual discrimination between the finest aspect of the illusion and the silent witness. Therefore, we should reason and reflect in our minds until we succeed and arrive at the conclusion of the subject. The presence of the holy light is not to be had by a teacher's lectures or the teaching of scriptures. It is not the result of good acts or the company of holy men. It is the result of your own reasoning. Now let's continue, established in the silent witness, and begin the process of Trimana Sanyama on the esoteric Maha Mantra, the most powerful technique for balancing karmic traces, any and all karmic traces, all the way to the root of these karmic traces, so they never arise again. And we will notice that many things have arisen in the mind as a result of the reading today. Those concepts, thoughts, memories are all part of the karmic traces that will be balanced today. Jake or Jack.